أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Good evening, everybody. I have a deep topic. Hey, my guy Guts, what's up, baby? I'm not a rapper, so I'm not as popular as you, man. Hey, Molly, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum, sister. I'm not as popular as you are, Mr. Guy. Hey, it's my peoples. They me. What's going on, man? Where is my brother at, man? Well, yeah, I'm not as popular as Guts, as my guy Jay Guts. He's a poet. I ain't even gonna call him a rapper, man. He's a poet, but I'm gonna do what I do as far as lingo, and I wanted to touch on a very, 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 very hot topic, and I'm apologizing ahead of time if I offend anybody, because this is one topic that strikes the nerves, but I'm not going to really strike the nerve right now because I don't believe in that. We're just going to massage that nerve. We're gonna go there today. And I got a lot of I have a lot of intellectual frustration because, I am who my people are, and I don't have a choice but to wear my skin, and I don't have a choice other than to be perceived, how I am perceived. The same difference with the rest of y'all. So I want to, with this live stream, it might feel like that, you silly date me. Oh, okay. That's some watermelon. Yeah, okay, inshallah, I'm gonna call y'all when I hang up, inshallah. I just been real busy, man, just trying to get everything together. Y'all know how that is. We just, speaking of, too, I meant to tell y'all, we just played y'all's football team, the Seminoles, the Detroit Seminoles. Did them bad. It was good, though. It was good, and it was rowdy. But back on topic, I want to talk about black culture, and this has become our God. And there's a verse in the Holy Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Afara'ayta alladhi hawahu ilahahu." And this verse means, have you not seen? God was asking us, the readers of the Quran, the listeners of the Quran, anybody. God was asking us, have you not seen that person that takes himself as his own Lord, as his own God? And that's kind of what we're doing. We're in flagrant violation for doing this, but this is what we've done nowadays. And it was a cold scheme by the devil, cold scheme, because he has made. There's another verse in the Quran. I don't know this one in Arabic, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Satan makes our deeds seem good to us. Assalamu alaikum, big bro, Midi. But Satan makes our deeds feel good to us. So, I want to talk about why we are the way that we are. This is really overall, but I don't belong to any other culture than the so-called African American culture. So I'm gonna speak from that perspective, but this also applies to every other so-called culture. Excuse me, I'm sick. But the first thing I want to touch on is I want to emphasize is that we are not who we are, meaning we are not who we have become. That's not who we are as human beings. That's not who we are in the deep of our hearts. It is what we have succumbed to out of survival, and I'm gonna try to touch on that. But I want to put it out there to all of the people, to our people, to people in general, that we do not have to give in to evil, if we want, if we can define what evil is. I want to make a point that black folks in America never really had a culture. So all the we can be proud of some things, but the things that we're proud of are not the things that we should be proud of. Right now, we live in such an ethical, degraded state that, you know, it's almost, it can be termed as subhuman. We're not behaving with the greatness that God birthed us with, that God, excuse me, not God birthed us with, but God put inside of us from birth. We're not answering to that for the most part. We're using that strength, the innate quality. We're using it, but we're misusing it. We have become great at a lot of things, and we have become known for and famous for a lot of things, but we are not great, known for, and famous for the things that we should be. Case in point. So I want to remind everybody that whether we like it or not, whether you want to open up this conversation with yourself or anybody else, we did come from slavery. Now, this is an integral thing to understand, because this is how we slipped into the degraded state that we live in now. This is the only way that the devil crept in and basically owned our people, is because when we were shackled, we were brought here by force, our whole entire identity was erased. I know a lot of people don't spend time watching and listening to YouTube. What's up, Cuddy? Watching and listening to these types of things on YouTube. I know people don't spend time sitting down reading about these things. For the most part, everybody chasing the bag, the sauce. So I'm a use my connections with people to educate us on this. When they brought us here in slavery, they hit the delete button. They erased everything about us. So we forgot who we are and where we come from and what our legacy was. The vast majority of us that came over here in a significant in a significant manner were Muslims. We gotta come to terms with that. Up to 80, I've seen the highest statistic I've seen was that 80% of the black slaves that came here were from Western Africa, and the entirety of Western Africa is 100% Muslim. You have some indigenous belief systems sprinkled in there, but we got to come to terms with that. That's our DNA. That's who we are. When people speak about black empowerment, when people speak about black lineage, knowing who you are, knowing where you came from, so you'll know where you go. You came from West Africa, mostly Liberia, and that is 100% Muslim. We got to ask ourselves why. Now, I know I've been seeing so much frustrating things on the internet on this attack on religion as a whole, which I'm really ain't against, but they throw Islam inside of that, inside of this attack. And these people who speak on these things they're very good speakers. They are extremely good speakers. They like ghetto politicians. They'll say some words real fast, and it'll be like, man, you know what, that do make sense. But when you go to reality, if you open up a book, if you even touch history at all inside of a book, or you can open Google, just Google some of the stuff that these anti-religious people put out there, and then you'll see how ignorant they are, extremely ignorant. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative connotation. I'm saying this just being real, because you know, time is of essence. We don't have time to waste it and sit here and be buddy and I say what everybody wants to hear. I'm not a preacher. I'm just a good brother, and I want to see better for my people, and that's gonna mean that it'll be better for me. So when we were brought here from Western, when the majority of us were brought here from Western Africa, they stole, or not stole, but they disallowed us. They made it illegal for us to be who it is that we know that we are. They made it illegal. There's so many different reports about the Muslims that memorized the Holy Quran, and they used to always recite it, and then the other slaves used to hear them recite it, and they reported it. They used to write it on certain stones. They could speak Arabic fluently, understood it. That's the historical documents. But for the most part, they hit the reset button and said, okay, well, if they are going to have a belief system, then we're going to give them Christianity. That's the history. I'm sorry. I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings, but where we are right now, that is not helping our status quo. It's not. And that's one of the issues, is that we don't understand that we were beat into that belief system. You were not allowed, like some of the founding African American fathers in America, their lineage is Muslim, and they were disallowed from practicing the way of life of their ancestors, and they tapped out. It died off. This was not a Muslim country, so there was no reinforcement whatsoever. So they died off. They gave up on it. People wanted to live. There was no faith, true faith, being pumped into these people, so they wouldn't die for the religion or any of that. This is slavery. I'm talking about chattels. This is so. They gave us that, and this was a huge diversion, and it still is a huge diversion. Different live stream for a different day. My point is, our minds were blank. And over time, I'm sure y'all learned a little bit, a thing or two about the Emancipation Proclamation and the freedom of slaves. We got a basic understanding of what that is about. So I ain't going to go into deep detail about that. Once we were freed, what were we freed to? Our minds were blank. We were slaves. We had to depend on the slave master to eat, to think, to sleep, to move, to copulate. Whatever it was that you had to do as a human, you couldn't blink too many times without the okay of the slave master. So we went from way over here to way over here. And like this, they said, okay, you free. So then once we became free, what was inside of our minds? What was inside of our hearts? Nothing. This is what the old folks say. They got this one right. The idle mind is the devil's playground. They got that one right. So Satan, seeing that our minds were empty, our hearts were empty, so there was space for him. But it didn't. Satan don't ever come and say, hey, worship me and don't worship God and be evil. Satan never does that. Just like the Holy Quran says, Satan makes your deeds seem alluring to you, make you like them, make you think that it's okay. This is how we were sold into this whole liberality movement. Where it's, oh, it's my body or it's my thoughts and I can say what I want, I can do what I want, I'm free. Well, let me explain to you how free you actually are and how good your intellectual liberality is. Black people, we have the highest rates of broken homes. I know y'all have heard me say this before, but 70+% of our women are single mothers. Now let's relay that over to something else. I was doing a little bit of research, and the highest number that I seen, and it was a tagged number, but it was a statistic, said that 90% of all felony convicted youth came from single parent homes. I read a statistic that said 80%. I read one that said that was more supported, that said 65 to 70%. Now, this is what your freedom is. This is what your culture is. Enslavement. Now, there's a hadith from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please don't quote me. I'm paraphrasing the hadith. I don't know it by memory, but I'm just going to convey the meaning of it. And the meaning of it was, Assalamu alaikum, Patrick. The meaning of this verse, this hadith, this saying of the Prophet ﷺ, was that once your mothers are corrupted, then fear the youth. It's something like that. Don't quote me. Maybe I'll find it and then I'll repost it just to make sure that I keep clarity about that. So the woman, in her freedom, in her liberality, in her way of life right now, her culture right now, she is alone to fight inside this world. We're going to talk about the men being alone also, but the focal point is the bigger problem, which is the women. 70% of our women are alone in raising us. She cannot do everything on her own, and we know this. This creates a bad situation. Now, this is a breeding ground for crime. Now, you got some people who are ushering us into this. We're being ushered into this. I'm not finna get into the whole racism debate. I'm just gonna say it's messed up out here, and the way that it's going is messed up. There are some institutions inside of our community, inside of the country that we call our own, that has a vested interest in our oppression. As a vested interest in our oppression. Now, the pundits of all of this are gonna tell you that you're free. You can go and get a job. You can go and fill out an application just like I can. You can go to college just like I can. You can own a business just like I can. This is what's been pumped into our minds. If this is true, then why and how come the statistics say that a white male with a high school diploma is more valuable to the economy than a black man with a associate's degree? Why do the statistics say this? If we're so free and everything it is like how they said, then how come the number of the ratio for black business owners up against white business owners is staggering? I mean, when I say staggering, I mean staggering. When I look at Facebook, every single morning, I see at least 50 African-American women, single mothers, for a fact, posting, "Good morning, on my way to the bag. Good morning, on my way to the check. Good morning, on my way to work." Yeah, they working hard, breaking their back, breaking their heels. And still, the statistics say that the black woman makes about 60-something cents to every dollar to a white man. If we're so free, if our mind, you can do it, and all the stuff they tell you in school, they make us believe in this system, and we believe in this system. We work for it, we believe in it, we represent it, we go overseas and fight for it, and we don't even know what we fighting, who we fighting, why we fighting. We join the army, the whole nine. If all this is good and it's great for us, then how come the statistics say that it's not good and it's not great for us? Another statistic, 70% of the people who are in poverty in this country are women. And the vast majority of those women, of that 70% of people who are in poverty, are black women. Why is this? We got to start thinking about this. Why is it important? It's important because it is. You have a son, you have a daughter. Your son and your daughter is going to do what? Yeah! Whatever that crap is. I got kids, so these are everyday things that we have to deal with. The dances and all this. Black youngster, future. This is what we've been ushered into being. Now, Future and Black Youngster inspired this series that I started about black culture because I got a friend request from a young lady that I know from high school, and I ain't gonna go into detail because I don't want to front her out, but she was dancing provocatively on her profile picture to a Future song, and in the Future song, he was saying Percocet, Molly Percocet. This is what he's saying in the whole song. I ain't even hear the whole song. I went to ask my partners at work about it. They're like, oh, yeah, that go hard in the club. I'm like, you serious? Percocet? Molly Percocet? I'm going to get into that. But my point in being is there are institutions out here that are pushing that agenda, that the black identity must be a black woman that is portraying the image of, dare I say it, a whore, or a black male that is portraying the image of a failure. This is what's been pumped into our heads. They have us believing that if you model the behavior of Future or Black Youngster, and let me say why I mentioned Black Youngster. Before I say this, let me remind y'all, come from the streets. The majority of people out here that's in the streets wasn't in the streets like how I was in the streets. Like I walked that entire path and got to the end of it. Like it wasn't anything else for me to do in the streets. That's how I became Muslim. Like there was nothing else for me to do. And I kept trying every type of option that the streets offer, and it didn't work. My point is, Black Youngster, I heard a song. First, if you can get past how many times that dude say gang, and he's not even in a gang. I was in a gang, and if he is in a gang, and if he is in a gang that they say that he's in, that I've heard that he's in so many violations of the gang, and the people who, whatever set he belonged to, they perping too, because they were supposed to put him down, according to the gang. But this is how delusional this state of being is. So I heard a song and he said, I shoot grandma or something like that while she pushing the baby stroller, shoot up grandma's house, or shoot your baby mama while pushing the stroller and shoot your grandma's house. They called her a bad name and said, well, she should have moved. Come on. This is what the 70% of black women who are single mothers, this is what they're raising. And they're not doing it on purpose. They just don't know no better. Like I said, once we came out of slavery, our minds were empty. And the people who have a vested interest in our failure, it's all about money. I don't believe anymore that they care about the color of our skin or think that we are genetically inferior or any of that. They don't care about none of that. The fact of the matter is, and it took me about 5 years to figure this out, and y'all finna learn it in 5 minutes. I'm going to give it to y'all for free for 5 minutes. It's not about the color of your skin, how dark it is, or any of that. That's a throw off. The idea is the owners of this country, the owners of this society, the owners of any oppressive regime, their vested interest is money. It's the only color that they care about. And if I'm going to be a ruling class, I have to rule my people. I have to govern my people. I need them to pay me, the president, the ruler, the dictator, whatever you want to call him, the senator, the congressman, the mayor. Y'all have to pay me taxes in order for me to be rich, in order for me to be powerful and run the country and potentially the world. So I can't oppress them, my people. So I need to have this country built. I need to have this country running. Somebody's got to do the dirty work. In the gang, we used to call it a foot soldier. The guys at the top used to send a hit. The guy at the top ain't doing the dirty work. It's the guy at the bottom. He the one doing the dirty work. So this president, mayor, senator, whoever you want to call him, congressman, state houseman, whatever, he's not going to go put in the work to do the dirty work to make sure the country is built and make sure the country is running smoothly. If he's spending his time at a job 10 to 12 hours a day banging a hammer on a railroad, how can he get rich? He won't get rich. Never. So he's not going to do that work. So we need to hire people who will do that type of work. If I go to Africa, then, and I ask them, say, hey, I need some people to help build me a country. The Africans who are already established over there is like, give me $100 a head. Now I'm building a country. I ain't really got no money for real. So I'm like, oh, well, I don't have $100 for 50,000 slaves. They're like, okay, well, you can't have no slaves. So they went back to the boat. They pulled out them guns. Back then, they used to call them fire sticks. If you read inside of the history, they didn't even know what guns were in Africa in that time. Maybe in small parts, but for the most part, it wasn't known. They took out the gun and said, we're finna take it. They didn't have any moral compass, which is dangerous. This is the danger in destroying religion, because you don't get a moral compass. But so they went and took it, felt like they were justified, said, hey, I need to be rich by all means. And he took them, brought them over here, said, listen, you're going to do this. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you. That's what slavery was. We came out of that. So once we came out of that, our minds were blank. Well, our minds were blank, and they lost control, the ruling class, the oppressors. They lost control of their country. Because, the Bible did do that good, I guess. And John Brown and the like stood up and said, hey, this is not right. These are good people. They're still humans, whatever the story for emancipation is. And, this kind of led to the Civil War, and it was tearing the country apart. And the ruler can't have his country in a civil war if he wants to continue to rule and live like a king and have women as far as the eye can see and money as tall as a mountain. I can't have a civil war going on in my territories. So they made peace. Abraham Lincoln. They made peace. Wasn't about, hey, I think these people are equal. And they say, hey, listen, stop burning my stuff down. Quit burning down my house. I need y'all to pay. I need y'all to work so that y'all can pay taxes so I can be rich. This is what it's all about. So, seldomly is the oppressive regime that is at hand about skin color. Don't get caught in that delusion. That's a distraction. It's more of a caste system. Some people have to be at the bottom to do the dirty work to make sure that this country runs. So that people in the higher class can live better. And those people just have to be us. Lucky us. So led to all the great inventions, the stoplight, the comb, the refrigerator, peanuts, and all the things that come from peanuts, peanut oil. Y'all know the stories. So it led to that. We've seen to have forgot that nowadays, but that is the orchestration inside of this, and and my point of what I'm trying to say. That's what we are. That's who we are. The inventors, the innovators, the people who struggle to be human, to regain their status as a human being. That's who we are. We're not Black Youngster. Black Youngster ain't Black Youngster. I can find Black Youngster right now. I can go to one of his concerts and he come here. He rich. Y'all see his videos. He's rich. I think his name is Black Youngster. I hope I ain't saying it wrong. Young, Slick Youngster, Black Youngster. One of them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The dude always be like, gang, 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 gang. And he got all the young people on Facebook saying gang, 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 gang. And none of these people on Facebook are in gangs. I'm in close relation with the guys who are in gangs. I was in a gang. I was leader of a gang. They are not gang. I guarantee you. All this gang. No, this is not YouTube. This is real life. Dudes getting shot in their face for gang. Females being shot in their face for gang. In my time, when I was in the streets, if there was a female that was playing this whole tough gangster role, that's an easy lick. I don't have no religion. I didn't have no moral compass. I'm about to rob her. What? She gonna give it up because she got kids to feed. She don't care nothing about it. She knows she can go put on an outfit and go to the club and find her another dope dealer that they can hide stuff inside her house. Once I find out about it, I'm taking it. I don't care what she's talking about. That's gang. The number one rule in the streets is to eat by all means necessary. That's gang. Gang is not what Black Youngster talking about on the side of these songs. he can do a concert in Cincinnati, and I can have a burner in a club, just like how y'all know people are doing now. And I can pull out this burner. I can catch him. I can pay $150, whatever it costs to go backstage and party with him and his girls. And I can pull a gun out and put everybody on the floor. And I guarantee you, Black Youngster ain't gonna be talking about no gang. I guarantee you that. He gonna be talking about give. My bad. What you doing, homie? And then he gonna rap about when he got robbed in Cincinnati. And then, what it's gonna go from there. So that's not who we are. That's not what we are as human beings, as individuals. That's not logical to the thought of a human being. Now, my next point, how we got to that point in our culture. Once they knew our minds were empty, and they knew that they had to keep us suspended in development, a few of us got out. Puff Daddy, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and y'all know some stories about them. They said the Illuminati and all these secret societies grabbed them up. It's a high probability, a very high probability. Another live stream for another day. But a few people got out of the suspension, a few. And they have to allow a few because they got to dangle the cheese in front of your face to keep you chasing, an illusion. Keep you chasing an illusion. They even made the clothes, the look of the people of Puff Daddy and LeBron James. They even made it affordable for us. Now, when I was gone a decade ago, black folks, hood people, they were not wearing Gucci. They were not wearing Louis. All this foreign and all this stuff that people were talking about, it did not exist in the hood. We had our own clothing. We had Mesquite, Rocawear, Sean John, and all the other brands that came and went. But they were not the high end Louis Vuitton and Gucci. You had some guys that ventured off into there, but when I was in the streets, it wasn't even cool to wear dress shoes. Now you see everybody wearing dress shoes, and if you wore a pair of tight pants, oh, it's gonna be bad for you. You better not come outside in these tight pants. This is all European culture. They gave us a European inferiority complex, made us feel bad that we don't have Gucci loafers, or that we don't have a foreign car, or that we don't take trips. I keep hearing this word now. Everybody taking trips. And then once I get a brush with some music, all I hear is people talking about in the music, oh, I'll take a trip to Bermuda to go chill, and then I'll fly back. This seemed like to be the new thing. So that stuff didn't exist. And, they saturate us with this illusion of what we're supposed to be. And then and we chase after it like a dog with a bone. This is literally what we doing. So point is, how did we get to this point where the women feel like they gotta be, the word whore and hooker and streetwalker, those aren't bad words anymore. The B word, those aren't not bad words anymore. They're not. There was a time and a day where if a female, and it still exists because I see girls calling other girls, sluts and all that. But there was a time where, those were the women who didn't have the intellectual capacity or didn't have the moral capacity to find a husband, or intellectual capacity to go to school or work and do whatever it is that she was going to do to pay her bills. The recourse was, I'm going to sell sex. That was like the lowest female, in case nobody knew. But now it has been reversed. Once black people started to make a climb on the ladder of success, those powers to be was like, they're waking up a little bit. The internet, they couldn't control the internet, so now more information is available for us to learn. More opportunities were available. People who did make it, they came back and contributed as much as they possibly could, and we started to, show some graduation from where we were. So they said, okay, we're gonna really turn it up on them. They made Housewives of Atlanta. They made Love and Hip Hop. The rap went from Kool G Rap to Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One. These dudes who were knowledgeable. If you listen to their music, they have your mind like, ooh, What did he just say? Rewinding your tape deck. They had you like that. It went from those dudes to, in the 90s, you know, when they put the drugs inside of our community, it went to the crunk music with Lil Jon, 3 6 Mafia, Master P, Hot Boys. It just kind of all just started to slowly but surely taper it off. Now, if you took, and then it got to Future and Black Youngster, and then the one guy, I think his name 21 Savage or whatever, so them partners at work was telling me that he was even rapping about killing himself. Like, now we got this whole fad on Facebook about people killing themselves. Oh, X-Clan. Yeah, the brother. Yeah, the X-Clan, no doubt. The Last Poets. My brother Rock, the brother Rakim. Guys who used to say, you can see the strength in their mind when they rhyming. You can see it. But now it's Percocet, Molly Percocet. And I'm still going to get on that. So we're going to go there. But if they took Black Youngster and put him inside of the 1970s, or put him in the 80s when Kool G Rap and all them and Sugar Hill Gang was inventing hip hop, which turned into rap. If they took Black Youngster and put him in there, they'd have killed him. They'd have murdered him. They would have publicly assassinated him because he was going 100% against what the intentions were for rapping, for music. That was a tool for us to express our way in a poetic manner that it lives inside of our DNA. Our ancients in Africa, if y'all do some history on music, our ancients in Africa made beats, rhythmic beats, and we had movements to the rhythmic beats, and they told stories over those rhythmic beats. That's in our DNA. They ain't gonna go nowhere. So it went from that to, I'm gonna take a guy from the middle of the projects who mom is probably a single mom. She has probably a lot of kids, and the situation is all the way crazy. And I'm a record producer. I'm gonna go grab him and say, hey, listen, man, we need to turn up. We need to make some crunk music. We need to make some drill music. We need to be turned. We got to make some sauce. Whatever crap they be saying. And then he listens to it. He be like, okay. And whatever horrific experiences that he had in his life, or might not have had, or potentially could have had, he has to say it on the music. If he doesn't say it on the music, he's not going to sell. If he don't sell, he's not going to get his check from his production company. He don't get his check, he go back to the projects. Same difference with the women. These females, they were on Love and Hip Hop and all those shows. They they were taken from the depths of wherever they came from. And there's some people behind the scenes that said, don't wear that, wear this. Wear this, don't wear that. Make your hair like this. Wear this kind of weave. No. Don't wear your hair. Your hair has to be long and flowing like you're foreign. You're not good enough. What hair Allah gave you on your head, that's not good enough. Don't wear that on my TV show. If you wear it on my TV show, you're fired. Matter of fact, take those loose clothes off and let me see your DNA and your derriere. So, who are these people that made that standard? That's what I want to know. Who are these people? And then, when you look on the show, all they do is fight. So they told you have to be Black Youngster. They told you that you have to be, what's that girl name? The crazy one on Love and Hip Hop. I can't. Rashida, I think. Rashida, one of them crazy girls. Now, hold up. The Spanish girl who messed with what's the guy name? The old school rapper, and she had his baby, and he was mad about her having his baby and all that. You got to be like that. This is exactly what you see on Facebook. Every single black woman that you see on Facebook looks exactly like a Love and Hip Hop character. They could switch them. They can come get one of my Facebook friends, take one of those stars off of what's it called, Love and Hip Hop, and switch them. And we'll watch it whenever it comes on, and we would not know that they were ever switched. So, my point is, why? Why? Yeah, Stevie J. Yeah, the older rapper, dude, the producer. Thanks, Kenneth. My point is why? Because if you are worried, my black women, if you are worried about being like that girl, any of those women on those shows, dressing like them, thinking like them, talking like them, and we do, and nobody can say, oh, I ain't a follower. That stuff doesn't have effect on my mind. It does. That's like saying if you stand in a boxing ring, you ain't going to be punched in the face. It's illogical. What you see and what you hear, this is what capacitates your brain. And we all indulge. But if you know more about what happened on the last episode of Love and Hip Hop than you know about your own history and the own struggle in your history and your being, you ain't winning, sis. You're not a hashtag boss, like how we say it is. Whatever they be calling themselves. You're not that. You're not winning. 70% of you are more in poverty. 70% of you don't have your man. It's not to blame you or anything like that, but this is the reality. And we got to pay attention to it. Why do we have to pay attention to it? Which is my next point is, oh, sorry, I didn't close that last point. Sorry. Why do they need us? Why do they need the women to be like the Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta Housewives, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, all these things that they throw in front of us? Why do they need us to be like that? It's because if half of you were Michelle Obama's, black people would be free. They need you to be Black Youngster and Future. They need you to be that because if a third of us are in the system somehow, some way, the backbone of a community, the men, a third of us are either on parole, probation, or in the prison system. And the rest, not the rest, but another significant amount, I forgot the statistic, are, like me, felons that came out of it. I'm still on parole, but, they're felons. So if I'm concerned about gang, Molly and Percocet, if this is what dominates my mind, get the bag, chase the bag. If this is what's on my mind all day, every day, then I fell into the mousetrap. Mousetrap being the system, and not the prison system, the system of slavery, mental slavery. I fell into that system because if I'm just if I'm a successful heroin dealer, I'm not inventing. My time isn't being spent inventing the newest technology on energy, clean energy. I'm not inventing clean cars. Elon Musk. How come? Do we know, my viewers? Do we know who Elon Musk is? How come he ain't black? How come it's not a reality TV show that we tuning in every Tuesday at 8 o'clock that's showing the black Elon Musk, or the black Bill Gates, or the black Mark Zuckerberg? Hey, forget the color. I just want to know why these people don't look like me. I don't have the answers. I'm asking my Facebook friends for the answers because everybody's doing the Love and Hip Hop thing, and I'm not getting it, and I'm trying to figure out, how in the world, we're doing that and it's not equaling to true success. And let me throw in there the simple fact that those characters on those shows and inside of this entertainment have expensive cars, expensive clothes, and brands. Everybody says this word, and I guarantee you, nobody really knows what that word is. Brand. You keep saying it. Those people on reality shows, they don't have a brand. Your brand is ratchetness. That what your brand is? What's the girl? Rashida, whatever, whoever those girls are. That's your brand. Nene Leakes. When I was watching it, that's Nene Leakes. I remember her. Her brand was ratchetness. She invented going crazy on these shows, and she was perving. It was probably scripted, but people wanted to see her going nuts, in places where you're not supposed to go nuts. They went out to a 5-star restaurant. They all dolled up. They got out of a big white limo, and they got all these. It's supposed to be the big time. It's the big hat. This is what this supposed to be. It's like, we looking at like, wow. We sitting in our project building. We sitting in our impoverished neighborhood like, wow, I'm gonna make it like that. And then she act berserk on this in this setting, and then that jacks up the ratings. When it jacks up the ratings, they get more funding from the people who run commercials on these shows. They get more funding, and then the more crazy she act, the more money they give her. That's logic. So she go crazy every single time. Now, and it used to be just Nene Leakes when this whole thing started. Now, all those girls act crazy. And we tuning in to see which ones are going to fight that day. And then we go and carry this stuff over into our everyday life. Which girl's going to say what about my hairdo? Which girl's going to say what about what I'm wearing? Oh, them ain't even real red bottoms. Those are green bottoms. Oh, get out of here. They can start talking about the girl because she got green bottoms and you got red bottoms. So that make you better? Both y'all don't have a man. Both y'all not married. Both y'all, still living in this. One going back to Avondale on the east side and one going back to Westwood on the west side. So it don't matter if you got green bottoms, if you got red bottoms. None of y'all own no business. So even though they are their own businesses, let's give them the so-called success that we say. Let's give it to them. We've defined success to be money. Let's give that to them. All right, they got businesses. They have a brand. They got Bentleys. They got Gucci. They got Louis bags. That's too big for them to carry. They don't have nothing in. They have all this stuff. They got all this stuff. They got all the stuff that we don't have, and they dangling in front of us. But they don't have happiness. Now, isn't the name of the game to be happy? When I was hustling, I had a pretty penny. I was doing all right as far as a street dude. I was the most miserable person in the world. Everybody always talk about, man, Romel used to be crazy. Man, Romel used to do this. Romel used to do that. You know why? Because Romel was psycho. Well, not psycho, but I wasn't happy. I hustled. I bought the clothes that they said I was supposed to buy. I bought the shoes that they told me I was supposed to buy. I bought the hats they told me. I had the whole look. The whole front. Bought me a few decent whips. I carried around a wad of money. I was literally in the streets like how these dudes say, man, I'm not a rapper, I'm a trapper. All right, I was a trapper. All right, I was like, it's certified. I was on the block all day, every day. I've always got in trouble in school. I did every single thing that they said I was supposed to do. So why was I always punching people? Why are these housewives, girls, hip-hop ladies, why are they always punching people? Why are they always cussing they dude out? What's the one guy, me and my wife was looking at it the other day. What is it called? What's the dude? Shooter. The Shooter and his girl, whatever her name is, they was so happy. They was doing it. They had hood ghetto love, which doesn't exist for real. This is a theory, but they had it. Next thing you know, Shooter got the other girl on the side, and the other girl thirsty, and she, came for the other girl. Now, your actions, all your energy is being put into this image. All your energy is being put into that. And you fighting over, you can't keep your man. Your man can't keep you. The girl on the side chick. And he was the side dude. She said that to her girlfriend, like, yeah, one of my side dudes is a shooter. They're not happy. Happy people don't walk around punching people on sight. Happy people don't throw tables and throw champagne on each other, always yelling and screaming, cussing, calling people names, talking behind people's back, being a shooter. I get tattoos on my face so I can scare everybody away from me. I'm going to get 1 million guns and I'm going to show everybody on Facebook so I can prove to everybody that I will kill the entire world. And you're not. You're not. I mean, you probably blow my face off. If I came and said something to you, it was like, hey, man, you just stepped on my shoe. You'll blow my face off. But as soon as the police find out you blew my face off, you running down the street, scared for your life. I'm going to let you in the game, blood. I'm going to let you in the game. You're going to do life in prison for my black behind. Just like you do life in prison if you shoot a cop. Not telling people to shoot cops. FBI, I know y'all watching. Not telling people, I hope the FBI become Muslim. I hope they become inspired from watching my videos because they like watching them. But you're not going to, there's no difference. The point is, there is an indoctrinated self-hate inside of us. And we're not owning up to it. We're not owning up to it. I punch a dude, and you get punished severely. If I went to the tip top of the suburbs and I acted crazy and I punched a dude, as a matter of fact, I know a very good friend of mine was in the tip top of the suburbs, and he got into it with some white guy, a bunch of white guys. They were gonna jump him. He pulled his gun out and said, "Hey, y'all not about to jump me." He shot the white guy in the arm, and he got 11 years for that. Just shot the dude in the arm. And in the hood, people get shot all the time. I know guys that shot somebody and went home in 3 years. Beside the point. Point is, once you, it's illogical that we're supposed to jump into the mode of the entertainment, the entertainers. We're supposed to jump and be the Beehive, jump in the Beehive and be Beyonce. That we're supposed to jump inside of that. That we're supposed to jump in and everybody's supposed to be Jay. I want to own my record label. I want to be Jay. Jay owns his record label. No, Jay is owned by the record labels. He's owned. He got a lot of money. But there's this go back to the business concept, guns and butter. This goes back to that concept. Different conversation for a different day. My point is, if our culture is working for us, if what we're doing is working, if the freedom that we were given is working, why are we minorities? Why are we the minority inside of this country, but we have the highest murder rate up against any ethnic group in this country, really in the world? If what we're doing inside of our culture is so great, it's so divine, it's revelation to us, that we dive straight into it and we obey every word that the housewives say. We obey every word that Love and Hip Hop say. We obey every word that Black Youngster. We obey all of their words. If it's so great and we so happy, how come we need to Molly and Percocet? Now I'm on that. I'm so offended that Future went there and made a song. I don't know if it's called Molly and Percocet, but this is what he's saying the whole entire time. Now, excuse me. Okay. Let me give a little bit of game. I was in the streets. Black people didn't use the drugs. We sold them. White people came down to the hood because they couldn't find it nowhere else, and they bought them for us. Molly's, Percocets, ecstasy, all that. Only thing black people did was liquor and weed. And, of course, we smoked crack because they made that for us, but we didn't use cocaine, none of that. That was it. How on earth were we tricked into using the drugs that are preemptive for heroin use? I don't care how cool it is that y'all say. I don't care how tight, how much y'all love the tight jeans that Future wears, and he's teaching everybody homosexuality. I don't care how much you like it. I don't care if he paid $1 million for them tight jeans that y'all love so much. Like, man, have you seen those jeans? Those are Robins, and they cost $17,000. Well, he's a $17,000 devil. Molly and Percocet. When I was in the streets, I drank a little bit. I used to drink. I used to drink a little bit. Never smoke weed. Never smoke weed. Because it do too much to your mind. You all slow. And, man, I had a gun with me at every single movement that I made. The wrong move in the wrong direction, that's your life. And y'all see it every day. These dudes was off loud. And he can't hear dude cocking the gun. And he just shot 3 or 4, 5 times. And them bullets that hit his car. He ain't ready for that yet. But you're loud. The noise is too loud. You can't even hear what's going on. The noise in the cacophony of your thinking is too loud. You can't hear, and you can't even be on point. Thank Allah, never got robbed. I was always on point. There was a few times I got sloppy drunk and all that, but I was like so careful with that. I'm talking about, I used to go to the extreme measures to make sure that I don't get caught slipping. But Molly and Percocet, and even the weed that they be talking about nowadays, I seen some stuff that somebody put on Facebook look like straight heroin and crack compressed together. And they were like, yeah, this is that. I think it was Moon Rock or one of them rocks, Mars Rock something. Man, that's a precursor for heroin. Okay, what y'all say? Molly, Percocet, all those are downers. All those are opiate-based or synthesized. Period. When the crackheads, before they was crackheads, they smoke a lot of weed. So much weed that the tolerance built up so high, just like you see everybody talking about, man, I gotta have 10 joints. I don't smoke reg, I smoke loud. Yes, because your tolerance is so high. And it's just gonna keep going. You don't even know what is been put inside of this new weed. You don't even know what's been put inside of it. They're making it so strong, so strong, so strong. And your body is fighting back against this stuff. It's going to take more and more. And this is a fact. Because in my generation, the Kush came, the purple haze came, the silver haze came, yellow haze came, pineapple Kush, all the different flavors of fruity stuff start coming in my generation. I go for 10 years and I come back and now everybody is on pain medication. That's crazy. Those are opiate based. Do y'all homework. Those are opiates. Like those things are designed to shut off the pain sensories in your mind. So if you get shot, then you can get or you break your leg or something like that, then you can get these types of drugs. And yeah, it makes you not feel, it puts a calm inside of your mind and everything. Yes, it stops your mind from saying, hey, alert, alert, alert. Your arm is broke. Your arm is shot. You're about to die. You're going to bleed. It stops your mind from doing that. So yeah, you slow and you feel like you're in another world and all that. But who want to feel like they're in another world, man? Get in reality. Get in reality. The murder rate is as high as it is. We don't need to be on no loud. We need to be on some quiet. Everybody keep talking about they smoke loud. Smoke some quiet. You on Molly, get something else. That stuff ain't working for us. A friend of mine from out here, from Price Hill, like 2 weeks before or a month or something before I came home, he overdosed on pain medication. That's crazy. I ain't never heard of no brothers, no hustlers overdosing on pain medication. I used to sell pain medication. We used to sell that to the licks. Like, man, you use that stuff. I ain't using that. You got this good grass. They used to call it grass. They don't even call weed grass no more because it don't even come out grass. They can even call it lab because it comes out of a lab. This is all figured into the equation. If you on Molly all day, your mind ain't working. Mark Zuckerberg don't use Molly. Bill Gates don't use Molly. Alan Greenspan don't use Molly. That's greatness. Those are people who rose to the potential of their humanness. Me, I've always considered myself a boss. I ain't settling for being hood rich. That's why I left the streets. Want enough money, and it's a losing game. If you live the streets the way that it's supposed to be lived, you're going to die or you're going to go to jail. Quick story. I know a lot of gangsters, a lot of shooters. When they're 15, 16, all the way till they got to their mid-20s, these dudes did so much dirt. They had the streets terrified of them. They get found. In order for you to have a rain in the hood or have some pool in the city, you got to put in some work. Now, I'm telling y'all from experience, before any of y'all go through it, or if y'all are going through it, then y'all can relate. You put in so much work that now you can't go nowhere in the city. First, you got everybody like, oh, damn, there go Romeo right there. And they push back. But then you got that one dude that's trying to make his name, or he just ain't no sucker. He gonna find you. He gonna catch you where he finds you. And these are the murders. This dude did something to this dude. That dude did something to that dude. And it's on sight as soon as y'all see each other. I'm walking into the store thinking I'm finna buy Arizona iced tea, and the whole liquor store or the whole corner store gets shot up, and I go down with it. That's the one scenario. If you live in the way that the rap music and the love and hip hop and empire and all this stuff say that you're supposed to be living, that's the first outcome. Second outcome is you're going to sell so many drugs. You're going to sell enough drugs to the point where the FBI and everybody else will be like, okay, we got us one, boss. And they will catch you. It's a revolving door. They will catch you. And if you don't get caught, you're not hustling. You ain't making no money. The guys that don't get caught, they ain't making money. You're in the way. The police don't even care about you. When I was hustling and I was doing the most, a lot. When I first started hustling, I was doing the most. Man, I had police pull me over and take my little pack and throw it away. Man, go get out of here. Go on. Go to school, man. They didn't did that before. But right when I, had my run, y'all can Google my name, Romeo Williams. Y'all can see the jacket. And they had me as a kingpin of this organization and all this stuff. And they try to throw, all these years on me. I was like, I ain't that gangster. When they hit me with that indictment, I was like, I ain't that gangster, man. I just want some money and some girls, man. This ain't what I signed up for. That's what's gonna come. That's what's gonna happen. If you doing what Black Youngster said, you gang. If you shoot grandma, it's gonna be bad for you. You shoot up grandma's house, it's not gonna be fun for you. I guarantee you. So, closing up that point, if you, everybody always say, you ask them how they doing, they always say, oh, I'm blessed. How you doing? Oh, I'm good, man. I'm cool, man. I'm good. No, you're not good, brother. You ain't good, sister. You ain't. If you was, you wouldn't be on Molly. If you was, you wouldn't need loud or quiet or 1700, 1800, 1945, whatever that Hennessy is that everybody keep talking about, Remy Martin and all this stuff. If you were happy and you felt good and you was just fine, you would not need any of this stuff. I had to learn this the hard way. When they put me in the bank and I couldn't have these things, not saying y'all gonna go to the joint, but I'm saying I found the weakness inside of myself. I was depressed. I was going through withdrawal of all these things. The tobacco I used to smoke, the alcohol I used to drink, whatever little weed I used to smoke from time to time. I was going through a withdrawal, and my body was fighting against my own self because I didn't have it. My body was dependent on these things to bring me some type of happiness, and the moment that I didn't have them, I was no longer happy. Now I'm mad. I'm in the block like, man, I swear to God, man, let dude come back with a big bag. I'm going to knock him out. Why I act like this? Why am I acting like this? Because I didn't have true inner peace. Everybody got inner peace on their mouth. Everybody's talking about it, but they don't have true inner peace. Everybody's okay with the skin that they in, but every weekend we go on the clubs and we turn it up and trying to be seen. And notice we put on the tightest clothes, guys and the girls, put on the tightest clothes and then go to the club so we can be seen. If you got inner happiness, you don't need to be seen. If you and hubby cool or you and wifey cool, why are you going to the club for? What's the point? I'm an ex-player. I'm going to tell you what the club is about. Knocking something. Period. And the females that go in there, they getting knocked. Period. And it's an endless game and it ain't working for you. It ain't working. You go to the club, you meet me, I'm perping. I don't have nowhere near as much money as it looks like I have. I got enough money to buy me a Louis outfit or a Gucci outfit, whatever people be wearing, Robin outfit. I got enough to wear that tonight to get your number. Now you just let me inside of your life. Then I probably I went to the club 5 or 6 other times, so I do got a few outfits. Or if me and you hook up, I can go and buy an outfit. This is going to push me to sell more drugs, rob more people, do more crime, put myself in danger, put my kids in danger, put her in danger. Girls are getting shot too. When we go out on a ride, guys are pulling out right there, shooting. And then she get hit with a few bullets, or if she don't, then she just traumatized by seeing that. And, she got to live with that her whole life. And best case scenario, she give me some sex just to try to keep me. I'm like, yes, I tricked her, and then I leave, and then she called my phone or she inboxed me. I don't answer, nor do I text her back. Now she mad. Now she talk about me on Facebook. So now she's scarred. So when the next player come along, and he like, hey, how you doing? She like, if you ain't got nothing for my pocketbook, I don't want to hear it. And if you ain't trying to do nothing for me, you ain't getting none of this. And they like, a game. That's not happiness. I don't care what y'all say. I was in it. I was doing it. I did it. That is not happiness. It is not. You chasing a guy all around the world. Hit this guy running from the girl that's chasing him. That's not happiness. That's not a boss. It's not who we are as human beings. So that culture isn't working. I had to come to terms with that. I had to look at it. I said, I have 3 children outside of wedlock. I'm in the joint. I'm thinking I got my hand down put with these ladies. So I think I can get on the phone anytime I want. Like, hey, man, I need $50. I can't even get on the phone. I'm dialing their number. They see it's me like, pfft. They got away from me because I brought trouble into their life. I lied to them. I ain't had no good intentions. They were pretty. They were built nice. And my lower self was like, I need to have that. And I didn't. Then I made children in these circumstances. Now I'm a single father. And that's the thing. That's the thing on its own, on loan. Now, if you make that decision and you allow your lower self to get to you, and you don't discuss the way life is supposed to be lived with this woman before you lay down with her, now she's your baby mama. So when it comes out that you really don't want her, then you go on child support. Now you can't work. Going back to the beginning of the conversation, that oppressive system. They don't have to worry about that. The powers to be, they don't have to worry about that because there's a strong culture of being married, having a family, being conservative. So you don't see them on Maury Povich and Jerry Springer. You do, but in real life. You don't see them owing $3,000 in child support, and I'm not going to get a job. I'm uneducated. I don't have any work experience. So if I do try to work, I'm going to make $9 an hour, and they want their money now. The system is not compromising with that. So they suspend my license. I get pulled over. They take me to jail. I lose my job because I don't show up the next day because I don't have $2,500 for the retainer fee to be lifted. This is what life is now. This is what this is. And we have to open our eyes and stop saying or stop pretending that this is not the way that it is. Now that I done got locked up because she put me on child support and she had a baby and she figured out that I really didn't want a baby, I just wanted to have sex with her. Now I'm mad at her, and because I'm mad at her, I don't want to come nowhere near her. I don't care if she had a twin of mine that was my son and looked exactly like me, or whatever the case may be. I don't want to go nowhere near her because she got me put in jail. This is my excuse not to be a man. And they ain't got nothing to give to the kids anyway. Now she like, oh, he ain't nothing, and body skip, woo. And then the kid grows up, and then they find out that this person that's here is not their dad. And now they're confused, and they're like, man, this is real stuff. And why is that important? It's not a badge of honor, ladies. I'm independent. I can raise. I don't need him. No, you do need him. Now, you don't need him as he is, a trickster, a player, and all that. You don't need that. Now, if the individual, the man, was living up to what it is, to the definition of a man, to a minimum degree, you need that. You need that. Because to be a man, you have to see a man. To be a woman, you got to see a woman. So this is why we have all this crime. We got people out here gang. And get all these girls turned, booty pictures all on Facebook, and then somebody say something to them, and then they in trouble, with the parents. These are kids that's doing this stuff. Older people, we kind of had some experiences, made them mistakes, and we're doing a little bit better. We just know not to do that anymore, put ourselves out there like that no more. But from 14 to 24 and 25 is where we having the most problems at, and some of us are parents of teenagers, myself included. And you find something on Facebook, you find your son with a red rag, and he throwing it up or whatever. You're like, whoa. Then you find your daughter, she busting it wide open, all for the world to see. Identity issues, identity crisis. Learn this. You turning up, parents, you turning up, you having fun, you making yourself feel good is not worth sacrificing their chance in life that you lost. Throw your life out, parents. Get rid of your life. It's over. You didn't make it. You will not be Stevie J and Rashida. You will not be them. Stop trying to be that. You won't be them. Give it up. Go into what's good for them. And ultimately, that's what's good for you. Because then you don't have to deal with some teenager coming through the door. I had my first daughter when I was 17 and mom was 15. Her mom was 15. You ain't going to have that problem coming through the door because there's a woman, a strong woman, looking at that example. The kids that's looking at this example of a strong mother, a strong father. Your son ain't going to be coming through the door and you ain't going to be trying to help your son get a job at your job and have to worry about him falling off to the wayside, to the streets or just living off some girl that ain't no good for him and kicking him out and putting him back in and all the crazy stuff that, come with all this stuff because he ain't sowing his seed irresponsibly. You won't have to deal with that. But if you yourself are doing it, then, take your daughter and, sacrifice her to the entertainment gods. Take your son and sacrifice him to the entertainment gods on the altar. Don't even play no games. Because that's what the outcome is going to be. So, kind of got away from some points that I wanted to make. But I'm going to keep this conversation going because I had to realize these things for myself before my life got better. I was on the earth for 31 years before my life got better. I got out of prison when I was 31 years old. From 0 all the way to 31, my life was hell. Literally hell. Because I was obeying the culture. I was looking at the entertainment people that they stick in front of us and saying, okay, that's what I have to be. And I went through all these different phases of who I felt like I had to be because I didn't have a father figure. I didn't have that strong presence inside the home. Had my mom, yeah, I definitely did, but her strength ran out. Her strength ran out. She got to the point where when I was 16 years old, she was like, they got a dough. I got another child I got to worry about. All right, you want to be wild, you want to be out of control, do your thing. She got tired doing it by herself. A man he get tired, he can't do it by himself either. So when I made my change, when I was in prison for that 9 years, when I became a Muslim, and I submitted to something higher than myself, which I'm closing up, I submitted to something higher than myself. I looked at this and said, myself says, ooh, all these pretty girls out here, I got to have them. But then my deen, my way of life, it says, no. Get you one and, build a life with that one. So I had to fight with myself. I had to struggle with myself. In Islam, we call this jihad-e-nafs, the biggest war you can ever fight. It's with your own self. We all know what's what. Do the math. Weigh it out. And I had to do the math and weigh it out. If you're a real, like you say you're a real, then be real. Get in that mirror and look at yourself and say, okay, that's what I had to do before things got better. In this year that I've been home from prison, this year has been the best year of my life. I'll be 33, inshallah, in two months. Of all my 33 years, this last one was the best year I've had. Why? Because I made those changes. I made those sacrifices of those things that I find out that I didn't need. And I'm glad that I don't need them. Used to smoke, used to drink, party, used to do all that. Do you know how much peace I have in my mind that I don't have to worry about that stuff no more? And I don't have to have those types of people and those types of influences in my life no more? Do y'all not know how peaceful that is? On my phone is falling, sorry. Do y'all know? Y'all couldn't understand how much. Now that's not to say that my life is problemless, but when I run to a problem, I got something that's bigger than me, much bigger than me, that I could take this problem to, and say, okay, this is how this is going to be worked out. And if I can get past my ego, it's going to be okay. Example: when I got home, I had my second job. First job was terrible. Second job was a good job. I did everything that a person was supposed to do. I think in the 90 days, temp to hire, I think I missed 3 days. And 2 of them were excused days. One of them was an unexcused day. I was due to get hired on the day that I was supposed to get hired on. The call I got out to get off the third shift, I thought it was the call for me to go fill out my paperwork. I thought this was that call. The call was actually, your assignment has been ended. I'm like, what? Crushed. I'm a newlywed. She has children that I have to look after. I have my own children that I have to look after. I have myself that I have to look after. I'm like, man, everything was going right. I did everything that what I was supposed to do. Pressure hit me. I almost crashed out. I almost crashed all the way out because that's a lot of pressure. Coming home, felon, can't get a job, uneducated. I know that I'm a man and I didn't want to be out all over the place chasing all these girls in cyberspace. So I got married. I settled myself down. All this pressure I had on me. I'm talking about it was literally about the bus. But I looked at that thing that was greater than me and I submitted to it. That's what Islam is. The word Islam means the submission to God's will. And I came out fine. I got another job. It was a better job. Got hired onto the job. They loved me. And I documented all of this struggle. Not because I wanted to get a lot of likes. Because I know that our people need some encouragement and some reinforcement. I know our people need that. And my story is a great story for people to draw off of. All the way at the bottom. Here's the bottom. I was under the bottom, literally, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, zero. Had zero when I came home. Only thing I had when I came home was a strong spiritual stance. That was it. And that's what keeps me pumping. And that's what I want to tell everybody. That's who we are. You have to find your strong spiritual stance. I don't care. I would prefer that it be Islam. I think that works the best. Another live stream for another day. But if we follow that moral guideline, the Bible, look at the Bible. The Bible don't tell us to turn up. The Bible don't tell us to act like Love and Hip Hop. The Bible don't tell us to act like Black Youngster. The Bible don't tell us to do none of that. Forget the Quran. Don't nobody even know what the Quran is or know what's in the same stuff virtually. But if we put that thing above us, and please, y'all, use y'all minds with all this anti-religion stuff out here. Please use your mind. If you take religion out of the equation, you lose the human being. You lose them. All the black youngsters in the world, they do not have religion. This is not to say that people who don't follow a particular religion are going to be like black youngsters. But this is to say that if people don't make a spiritual structure their moral compass, then they will continue to be susceptible to all of these spiritual ailments that's going to lead to individual failure. That's exactly what is going to happen. You might not party, you might not drink, you might not smoke, you might not this, but you've left room where he can sneak in. And as soon as he sneak in, it's like a virus. He just goes all through you, and it just unravels. It completely and literally unravels. So I want to close up. Hey, Brittany, what's going on? Long lifetime friend. You never know who you would touch. Speak volume to help heal. Speak friend. Thank you, Brittany. Thanks for the reinforcement. And she know how I used to be. It was all the way crazy. And I'm speaking because we have to get better. Like I said at the beginning, I don't have any control over how I look. My skin color is the way that it is. And I'm embarrassed that I share the same skin color with people like the Love and Hip Hop, Black Youngster, Future. I don't care how fun it is. As Muslim as y'all know I am, praying 17,000 times a day, memorizing the Quran, learning Arabic, doing all this stuff. As much as y'all know, as much as that I do all these kinds of things, try to do all these positive live streams and all that. If I listen to Future, immediately all that stuff goes out the window. If I listen to Future, I'm like, Percocet, Molly, Percocet. And my brain just starts to get to going in a direction that it goes backwards. Back to that dude that was destroying society and not building society. That goes for everybody. Anybody who know anything about Islam says Islam forbade music. Look at it. Look at it. Look what it done to our people. Look at what it's done to people. Life is not about turning up, y'all. I apologize. If it is, look. Look at the results of turning up. All we got is death, murder, oppression, and sadness. If you just go through your Facebook every single day, you'll see the state of the low state of being that we live in. You'll see it. Oh, people trying to play me. all the stuff, stuff that you see on your Facebook all day. Just somebody see a post that you made and they talk about the post that you made and all this hate. Hate. Oh, dudes really ain't out here chasing the bag. Oh, they out here tripping. They all this stuff is hate. How is that living? I'm a person that prided myself on hate. I prided myself on hate. Proud of me being a Muslim. My favorite movie was Scarface. I used to watch Scarface 5-6 times a day. People used to get mad at me because I used to watch it all the time. Because he's a bad guy. I ignored the end like most delusional people. I ignored the ending of it, which was the most beautiful part of the story. But I felt like I was going to force my hand on everybody. If life is about turning up, how come nobody is happy? Why every time you turn on, if happiness comes from the material things that you see all of the entertainers that they wave in front of our heads, in front of our eyes for us to be like, if life is supposed to be that way, how come every single time you turn on the TV or you turn on the radio, all you hear is negativity? Oh, you was messing with her? Oh, man, I found out she was texting him. Oh, and you done jumped in this person's inbox. And, oh, yeah, gun emoji. I thought turning up was the way it was supposed to be. If turning up is the way that life is supposed to be, then how come we're not happy? If being completely free, Assalamu alaikum, C's. If we are completely free, and our minds are not supposed to have any type of checks and balance system on it, then okay, yeah, fine. All right, let me walk up to any of my Facebook friends. Sorry, phone cut good. Let me walk up to any of my Facebook friends. If we get happiness out of all these things, let me walk up to any of my Facebook friends and say, hey, man, would you like to have sex with me today? Unprotected sex. Would you like to? Fine. Hey, let's go over here inside of this bathroom. Yeah. And then once we're done, hey, I appreciate it. I don't get your name, I don't get none of that. Then you get stuck with that kid. Or I get stuck with the kid. She'll have it, and then, I got to go downtown and pay for this little joker, this little devil. So if his life is really about that, that's what turning up is. That's what it is. And I'm telling women from a guy's perspective, don't believe it. Do not believe it. I'm telling you, it's just about the sex. The dope selling, the gang banging, the shooting people, the robbing people is all about sex. That thing is a powerful thing. It's all about sex. Why I want to sell drugs, why I want to rob somebody first, so I can get some money quick, so I don't have to do all the drug selling. I let dude do the drug selling, and then I run up on him and take what he just earned. Now I get the money. What do they do with the money? They go buy a car that's lime green. They get the rims that's taller than the girl that they talking to. They go get the seats leather. Y'all know what's going on out here. What is this telling me? This is screaming insecurity. It's screaming insecurity. I know because I was one of these people. It's screaming insecurity. Why is it screaming insecurity? Because I'm going all the way out of my way just so I can be noticed by a few people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It don't matter. The more the merrier. Because I'm feeding my ego. There's no hole. There's no bottom to that hole. The ego. So I get one girl. She's nice looking. And she's like, I pull up on her and she looking at my car. It's like, oh, this dude must got some money. So, he might be able to, help my situation out. So he like, oh, she think I got money. So she think I can help her situation out. So the game is, she got to lay down. And she got to. Why does she have to? Because if she doesn't, some other girl is. So there's a competition out here. And now guys is, it's a competition with the guys now. Now they got to pay. When I was coming up, you ain't have to pay. You just had to be a player and had to, look like half of something. That was it. You just had to have a little bit of game, say everything that they want to hear, and then, you get it and you go on about it, and you just keep going to each one. Like, that's what it was when I was growing up. Now, you got to actually pay these girls' bills and stuff. I'm glad I'm not a player anymore. Because I would have been celibate because I ain't got a dime for nothing, for nobody. But this is what it turned into. It's just complete madness. It's an endless chase. So if turning up is the life that we're supposed to live, dripping sauce. If I'm supposed to drip my sauce on you and you drip your sauce on me, if this is what life is supposed to be, then how come nobody's happy? How come ain't nobody happy? Why my baby moms hate me? Why I hate my baby moms? Why I'm ducking and dodging them? Why is this? Please tell me what this is. Please tell me. Maybe I'm the fool, and this live stream is not me sharing some knowledge with y'all, and y'all can, some people who, turn up, share some knowledge with me, and I can get my life together, and, I can turn up, and I can have happiness, and, I can get a sensual pleasure out of fighting all day, every day. Can't, and it won't, because I already did it. I already been there, done that. So, I'm going to close up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I went longer than I expected to go. I got a lot to say. I was, in the joint for a decade, figuring all these kinds of things out. And when I made my change is when I got true happiness. And there's no brand name, clothes connected with it. If y'all ever pay attention to my Facebook pictures, I always got a t-shirt and some sweatpants on. If I can't be friends with you and I got a t-shirt and sweatpants on, then, we can part ways. And that goes for women also. It's women, sisters, stop looking for guys that got red, what is it called? Whatever it's called, robins. Stop looking for guys that got robins on. Those aren't the dudes that's marrying women and looking after them. Stop looking for those dudes. It looks fun. For me, it looks fun. It looks fantastic. I'm sure if I began behaving like that again, I could have a lot of fun. But as soon as the high from the fun resides, real life will erect itself again, and I'm back to square one. I got to get it. You don't want to be in that desperate state because you'll do desperate things, males and females. So thank you all again for tuning in. Thank all the brothers and sisters that shared the video so we get this message out here so that we can be perceived in a higher manner and we can truly gain freedom. We're not free. We are not free. I don't care what none of y'all say. And I will have a live stream debate with anybody who thinks that we're free. And I'll destroy you. I guarantee you. Destroy you. We're not free. Stop believing we're free. Stop behaving like we're free. Stop behaving like it's equal. Stop behaving. I wake up once I figured out that it was a trick in the bag. You're right, mind over matter. Desperation is real. Yeah, make people do things like what made me spend a decade in prison and leave my family and leave whatever good I did have for society be taken away. But I just forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, I remember. Once I figured out that something went wrong and that I was being, targeted unfairly because of my skin color or where I come from, my DNA, what my lineage goes back to. Once I figured that out, that's when the gangster was good. Because I felt like I was being played like a sucker. It was like, hold up, time out. These people did what? These people are doing what? Nah, I'ma fight it to the day that I die. Never ducked any work in my life, except for a few times, but never ducked any work. And real talk, if you don't give something to the struggle every single day, I don't care if it's just a good attitude all the way around the board, and you never pick up a book or you never get involved in no social consciousness, social movements, anything like that. If it's just being a better person and being positive all the way around the board and spreading positivity, you are a sucker. Period. Somebody punched you in your face and you ain't do nothing about it. That's what's going on inside of our community. They punching us right in our face and we getting up and asking for another punch. Period. That's just the bottom line to it. So for all you suckers, I'm out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's time for me to pray. Put my face on the ground and remind myself that I'm not even an ant to the Creator. Y'all pray tonight. Beg for forgiveness, beg for guidance, beg for repentance, for God to accept your repentance. And if I said anything wrong or offensive to anybody, forgive me. It was not anything personal. This live stream was not about any particular person or instance or anything like that. I just learned some things that made my life better. And if I share it with y'all, inshallah, it'll make y'all lives better. And then we can all live happy. And we don't need Percocets and Molly. We can just be happy. So if I say anything wrong, does not belong to Islam, does not belong to God, does not belong to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nor his companions, or any of the illustrious friends of God. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good weekend. Get involved in the struggle somehow, some way. If I said something wrong, correct me, inbox me, post it on my wall, whatever. I'm all about correction and not all about acceptance. Thank y'all again. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.